Using blocks, you can create symbols that you use frequently in your drawing, and after creating a block, you can use it again and again in as many drawings as you want. Now, to understand blocks, I'll first start by activating the blocks toolbar. So by default, we don't have any option for creating blocks here. So I'll right click on the command manager anywhere and then select toolbar, and right here we have blocks. So just select this. Now this will activate blocks toolbar, which looks like this, and by default there is only one tool which is active right now, which is insert block, and all the other tools are simply deactivated by default because we cannot use it directly. So we just need to go to the sketch environment, and there we'll make our first block. So I'll go to sketch tab and sketch option, and I'll select front plane, and as you can see, a few of these other tools are now active. All right, so I'll just create a circle here. All right, and maybe the radius of the circle I'm going to use, well, a diameter of 5, not radius. So that's the 5-unit dia for the circle. Now I'll make an array here. So I'll go to linear array, and in the entities to pattern, I'll select the circle. All right, now let's add a few columns and rows. So I've got 7 columns here and just a few rows, maybe 4 of these rows here. All right, and the distance is 10 between rows. I'll just make it 7. All right, now with a smaller gap, I'll click OK, and now this is the pattern which I want to use as a block. Now so far this is just nothing, a simple geometry, but now I'll convert it into a block, and to do that you just need to select this first option, which is make block. Select this. Now select the geometries that you want to convert into a block. In this case, I want to select all of these, so I'll just select it like this, and now specify a base point. Now base point is the only point that SolidWorks will recognize when you insert a block. So in this case, I'll just go to this insertion point option, I'll expand it, and here you can see that you can actually drag the manipulator on screen to position the insertion or the base point. So the manipulator is right here, and you can just move it anywhere you want, maybe here, and at that point will become base point. All right, so that's the base point. Now click OK, and we have our block. Now in the feature tree, you can see that a block is added, and if you want to rename it, you can just simply double click here slowly and then give it a name. So I'll name it mesh holes. All right, so that's the name of block. All right, so our block is named. Now I want to export this block. Right now it is already available inside my drawing, but what if you want to save it as a separate file? Well, in that case, you can right click on this block and select save block. All right, so I'll select save block, and it will prompt you for a location. I'll go to desktop, and I'll just create a new folder for blocks. So here I'll just create a new folder. Let's call it blocks. All right, and I'll double click inside this folder, and here with the same name, mesh holes, I'll just save it. So by default, SolidWorks will save your file in SLDBLK format, that's SolidWorks block format. So just click save, and now this file is saved on desktop. If you want to see that file, that's here in the blocks folder. We have this mesh hole.solidworks block file. All right, now let's go back to this drawing. Now, if you want to use this in any drawing, not only in this one, but maybe in other drawings as well, you can then use it simply by inserting it from that file. So I'll exit out of this sketch, and as you know, this is now a block. It is available for us. Now, if you want to insert it again, all you've got to do is just select this option, insert block, and now specify a plane on which you want to insert it. So I'll maybe select this time top plane. So we have a different plane, and now on this plane automatically it will select this one. Now it is automatically selecting this block because that's the only one which is available here, but if you have several blocks, it will show up in this list. You can select the one you want to insert, and then you can just simply click to insert it. Not only that, you can also change the scale and angle of the block. For example, here the scale is 1. I'll make it 0.5 and tab key, and now as you can see, the size is half the original one. Also, if I add a rotation angle of, let's say, 90 degrees, it will just rotate it by 90 degrees like this. So I'll now click, and here we are. So that's how you can insert it. Now I'll press escape, and we have our blocks added here. Now, if you have a completely new drawing where you want to add these blocks, then you can do that using the file which we just now saved. For that, I'll exit out of this sketch, and maybe I'll also close this drawing entirely. and I'll open a new file. Alright, now we don't have any block here, and if you go to insert option, well, we don't have anything here too. As you can see, this is completely empty. So in this case, you can actually insert the block using the block which we saved in previous example. So again, I'll go to insert, and now I'll select browse, and just go to the folder which is blocks folder, and right here we have mesh holes block. So that's the block which you need to select. Now in this case, this is SolidWorks block file, but as you can see, we have other formats available for us. So you can even insert a DWG file, which is an AutoCAD file, or a DXF file. Again, DWG and DXF file can be created with AutoCAD and many other CAD softwares. So if you have these files, you can insert it. For now, I'll select this SolidWorks block, open, and there we are. Now we can insert it wherever you want. So here I'll just click on this make normal, and there we are. We've got this block. Again, you can change the scale or rotation angle if you want to. Click OK, and we have our blocks added. Now let's see how we can insert an AutoCAD block. For that, we need to, of course, create a block. So here I'll go to AutoCAD, and I'll just simply create a simple file here. So maybe I'll just create a rectangle and just a couple of circles here. So just one circle here, another one here, and maybe I'll just trim this part as well. So I'll just create a simple slot. Now I'll move this entire drawing on origin, because origin becomes the base point. So I'll go to move, and I'll select this as the origin or the base point, and I'll type 0, 0 and enter. Now this will become the base point, and now all I need to do is just save this file. So I'll go to save, and in the same folder which is blocks, I'll save it, and I'll give it a name, maybe slot, and I'm saving it as DWG file. So save, and we are done. Now let's go to SolidWorks again, and here I'll go to insert block, and this time I'll select browse, and now the same folder blocks, and I just need to select the AutoCAD block this time. But as you can see, only SolidWorks block is visible. So to select the AutoCAD block, you need to go to DWG option from here, and now the slot option is available. So this is the slot block. Click open, and now it is available right next to our cursor. As you can see, we have this block which is kind of huge because of the differences in scale or the units which we have used. So we can of course change the scale here as well. So I'll just change the scale, and I'll make it 0.2. Now that's much more manageable. If you want to change the angle, you can do that as well. But for now, I'll only leave these values, and I'll click here. So we've got the block added. Click OK, and now we have a DWG block, AutoCAD block, basically added inside SolidWorks. Now we can use it in a meaningful way as well. So once you have inserted the block, you can use it to kind of create geometries. For example, you can go to feature, and then you can extrude it if you want, or you can also create holes or use it in other features in your drawing. So that's how you can create blocks in SolidWorks and also insert blocks from DWG files.